So here we go. Let me make sure that we got camera and everything like that. Bobby Wald is here already. Let me hang on. We're getting there. There I am. All right, so let's see. Is the picture up? Yeah, okay, we got the picture up. Bobby Wald is here and says, all I see is a sign saying, waiting on Alan. Doesn't he know I'm like a kid on Christmas morning? I don't got no time to read to read who the presents are from. I have to get that toy open now. Hopefully you got a USS flag underneath the tree. I never got mine. So anyway, here we are to open up another one of these Masters of the Universe action figures from the Kids Core line, the Core line. I've seen it called a bunch of stuff. Al Davis is here, and he says, good evening to you, too. Good to see you. So you never got a USS flag either. It was always the rich kids, man. I swear to God. Never got my USS flag. They had that thing on the Babylon Bee where they said that, like, theologians say that every person gets their own USS flag aircraft carrier when they enter heaven. And I'm like, well, I'd better. Is it really heaven if I don't have my own USS flag aircraft carrier? Jesus is there waiting for me with the aircraft carrier. Here you are, my son. And I have all of the figures too. Here's Shipwreck and Keelhaul and Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow and the version 2 Storm Shadow and Scarlet with an actual good head sculpt. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. So yeah, this is one I was looking forward to the most because I wasn't sure. I knew they were doing Origins figures, but I wasn't sure if we were going to get an Origins figure of Teela. Well, it turns out we are actually going to get an Origins figure of Teela, but I don't know why they bothered because I kind of feel like this is already like the same scale pretty much. I've got the Filmation Teela over here so we can compare. And I'm going to go ahead and open her up in just a minute. But first, let's have a look at the back of the package. It's got that kind of orangey sort of back like He-Man had. And we got He-Man, Teela, and Beastman. Teela does not have her name next to her, I noticed. I guess because she's the figure that actually comes in the package. So you should have probably already know that this is Teela. Maybe you might be confused as to who He-Man or Beastman is, so they label those. It says Teela, Heroic Warrior Goddess. And then it says, Teela battles alongside He-Man to return Eternia to its former glory. And then it's got these rankings on here. I don't know what the hell any of these mean. It looks like it's on a scale of 1 to 10. And she's at a 5 for strength, a 10 for combat, an 8 for intelligence, a 2 for magic, and a 7 for tech. You know, I would think that the daughter of Sorceress, who is destined to become the next sorceress herself, I would think she would rank a little more highly in terms of magic, but maybe she just hasn't figured it out yet, how that she has magic powers, so we can kind of forgive that. Al Davis says, as well as one of them in pristine, unpunched, perfect blister packs in your heaven man cave. Hell yeah. Heaven, yeah, I guess, actually. And Bobby Wald says, you should see the 1/12 scale Cobra Island with Terror Drome I built. Oh, I would love to see that. I bet that's awesome. So, and it says down here, the adventure continues, which is kind of funny because that was what they said at the end of Star Trek 3. And, it said, and the adventure continues over the background of Vulcan, which looked very much like Vasquez Rocks, which Eternia apparently looks very much like Vasquez Rocks. I'm not complaining about that. Like, kind of in my head, my ideal version of Eternia, yeah, it would look like Vasquez Rocks. So let's go ahead and open her up. Have a look at this figure. And she is, like I said, pretty much, I thought, sight unseen, before I'd actually even seen one of these in person. I thought to myself, she's probably about the same size as the Origins Teela, because the regular Kids Core figures, they're about the same size as they're about the same height as the Origins figures. They're just not as big and bulky. And the female figures, in Origins aren't like with the vintage line. They aren't as big and bulky either. So I kind of figure it makes sense that she'd be roughly the same size as an Origins figure. And I got her blaster and her sword out of the package, and there are no rubber tabs holding this figure in. Technically, she had some rubber tabs that I guess were supposed to be around her ankles, but they didn't seem to go all the way around her ankles. And then we got Teela out of the package. Now, I'd seen some of these that have some rather derpy face paint where like the eyes aren't quite on model, like they're not quite on center. And thankfully, mine does not have that problem. We have a lovely likeness of the actress Camila Mendes, who I am a fan of. How big a fan of Camila Mendes am I? Well, she was on that show Riverdale, which was based on the old Archie comics, and she played Veronica Lodge. And of course, I read the Archie comics when I was growing up. And I think, like most boys, I had a preference between Betty and Veronica. Unlike Archie, I was able to make up my mind fairly easily, and I liked Betty. Betty was my preferred of the two. Betty was sweet. I like sweet. But, when I watched this show, she changed my mind, and I liked Veronica a lot better. So, nothing against the actress that played Betty. She was fine, but she was no Camila Mendes. Let's just say that. So, and they did do a very, not only like does the facial features match up, but she's got that little smirk like Camila Mendes has a lot, and I like that. This is a figure that feels to me very much like Teela, even though obviously she's got some differences between like the more traditional look of Teela. I do have the Masterverse version over here. The is this the vintage one? Honestly, I can't tell anymore because like the vintage one and this is the new Eternia one. I have to actually look at it because they are pretty similar. But you can see how they changed up the outfit a little bit. This is a little bit more of a sci-fi kind of outfit, and this is a little bit more of a barbarian fantasy kind of outfit. But you can see like she's got the same sort of boots and the same they're actually closer in color on this one to what the original figure was because she had those reddish boots. And then the re-release had the more brownish boots. So, and she's got long pants, which I don't really care for that. I'd rather she had the shorts or a skirt or something like that. But they gave her the long pants because it's a movie, and they gave pretty much all the characters. Like Fisto has long pants. Maybe I'll open up Fisto next because I've got the 2-pack, the Chronicles 2-pack with him and Ram Man. Maybe that'll be the next episode, which I don't know when that's going to be. Because I'm going to go visit my mother tomorrow. And then I've got like 2 days where I go in early. So I don't know if I'm going to have time on either one of those days to do it. But yeah, I'm going to go say this. Next episode, my plan is to open up the Fisto Ram Man 2-pack. Al Davis says, I'd happily be sandwiched by both Betty and Veronica. Well, I mean, that's the real correct answer, isn't it? It's definitely better than being sandwiched by, Fisto and Ram Man, unless you're into that sort of thing. And I don't judge if you are. That's fine, But for my personal preferences, yeah, Betty and Veronica would be fun. That would. So yeah, let's look at her next to the Origins figure. And like I said, she's pretty much the same height as the Origins figure. If we don't count the hair, she's even like just slightly taller, I think, because Filmation Teela definitely had that bouffant thing going on, and we can see that movie Teela has her hair down. There are some shots that I've seen where she's got her hair up and she's wearing the tiara, and of course Mattel is making a figure of that also, like a completely separate figure. They could just make an alternate head for the figure, but no, they gotta get them ducats. They gotta earn them shekels. So they're gonna make you buy the same figure twice to have the same different hairstyles. Now that doesn't really bother me because I probably would have bought the same figure twice anyway, so I could display it with both hairstyles. So I was already a sucker either way. So one thing I do notice that's different is that the original figure of Teela had gold bracers, And we can see the Filmation version has white bracers, and this version of Teela has brown bracers. Why was that decision made? I have no idea. Also, something this actually kind of honestly, it bothers me a little bit more than the long pants. The long pants, I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, you want to be all prudish like people are these days, whatever. Like I'm not a fan of that. But they took off the armbands. Like Teela traditionally has those bands around her bicep. Those are gone. I don't know why they did that. So I would have rather they kept that. I think that's kind of an iconic Teela sort of thing. And can I take her head off? Let's see if I can take her head off. Yeah, her head comes off. So and then we can see. I want to get a closer look at her collar underneath here. She's got that kind of popped collar, like Teela often has. Again, going back to the Filmation version, she famously had that popped collar, and you can see it's a little more subtle than the Filmation version. She doesn't like Count Dracula or anything like that, but Teela always had like that sort of like, I guess, ram horns at her bodice. I guess they're supposed to be ram horns. I never really understood what those are supposed to be. I think they're ram horns over her breasticles. And as a kid, I never really understood what it was. And I guess the designers of this costume didn't really know either, because they just made it all just kind of like this gold, gold section of her outfit. It looks like it's all just one jumpsuit. It might be a top and some pants, and it might all just be one jumpsuit. It's kind of difficult for me to tell. And then she's got the, this belt with her blaster holster on here. And one thing that I will say that disappoints me about this figure, just right off the bat, is that she's got this holster just kind of sculpted to her leg and doesn't actually have a proper holster. And it would have been nice to have a holster to store her blaster in when it's not in use, because this is a tiny little thing and it could very easily get lost. I can see a kid losing this very easily, and it would be nice to have some place for storage for her blaster. And one of her hands is sculpted actually to have a trigger finger, so I'm assuming that's the hand that's meant to hold the sword, or to hold the blaster, and the other hand is meant to hold the sword, where there is no trigger finger. And then the trigger finger hand, that's a right hand, and that's over where the holster for the blaster is anyway. So let's go ahead, and before we do that, let's talk about the articulation. So Teela can't look up very far because she's got that long hair. That's to be expected. She can look down about that far. Tilt her head kind of quizzically from side to side. Rotate the head all the way around. The hair does kind of bump into the shoulders a little bit, which, again, that's to be expected. But, she like it still turns around kind of nicely. You know what? While I had the head off, I should have tried this just for fun. Let's see if we can swap out the heads. And of course, the Masterverse, the classics have like little teeny tiny delicate pegs, so I don't know how well this is going to fit on here. And plus, like the collar is going to kind of bump into the hair, but it's not the same size anyway, and it's going to be too big to fit this on. You could, if you heated it up somewhat, it could fit on there fairly well. I don't know why you'd want to do that, though, because the skin colors don't match up that well. And then you just wind up with a movie head on a cartoon. Might as well just keep them both the same. Amiga Cami is here and says, hi, Alan. Hi, all. Well, hello to you, too. Good to see you again. Al Davis asks, Alan, does your shirt say Aura Farming on the moon? Haha. It is, yeah, it says Aura Farming, and it has Skeletor on it. I bought it because it has Skeletor on it. I didn't really care whether or not it said Aura Farming on it. That means nothing to me. That's something the kids say these days. Like they talk about Henry Cavill as Aura Farming or whatever. I don't know what it means. I'm old. I don't keep up with the modern slang. Al Davis asks, is it rubbery hair made from a more flexible material than the head? And yes, it is. And it does seem kind of thin in the back, like narrow. I mean, not like chunky, but it's still thick enough it keeps her from looking up too much. But it doesn't hinder it when you turn the head around, which is probably more important anyway. Amiga Kami says, I was going to stick with the Origins and Chronicles lines, but I caved and picked up this core Teela. Well, hey, the good news is, like I said, they're doing an Origins version of Teela for the movie, but I don't know why they bothered, because she's already like Origins scale. Like these kids core figures, they are the same height as the Origins figures. It's just that like they're chunkier, like vintage Masters of the Universe figures are. So really, I can't imagine that the Origins movie Teela is going to look much different from this once I get her in hand. She'll have some different articulation, and she'll have some parts that you can swap around. And I had seen where somebody had taken the legs off of one of these Teelas and put legs from an Origins figure on there, so she could have bare legs if I wanted her to. But I'd have to find legs that matched up with this particular skin color, and this does seem like a rather unique skin color. Like it matches Camila Mendez's actual skin color, I think. So, and the obviously the Filmation one, she was very, very fair skinned in the Filmation cartoon, and I don't know how well this skin color would match up with, like, it might match up with the regular Origins Teela. I don't know, but the regular Origins Teela that I have has the old knees and looks kind of crappy. So I don't know. It would be nice to have one where she's wearing shorts or a skirt or something like that. I think that would be cool. But yeah, she's a nice looking figure. I'm pretty happy with her. I do like, she's got like this kind of like almost pearlescent sort of sheen to the white parts of her outfit, and that makes her kind of pop a little bit. Amiga Cami says, yeah, she's practically the same size and shape as the regular Origin Teela, so she'll fit right in for now. Yeah, and hopefully they'll get around to doing Evelyn in either one of these lines. I haven't seen her yet. I think that there's a core Evelyn figure, but I haven't seen her yet. I think that they're going to do one, though. I think that I've seen pics of it, but I haven't seen it in the stores yet. Oh yeah, I was talking about articulation. So the arms rotate all the way around at the shoulders, and they move up to the sides about that far. She's got a single joint of articulation at the elbow, bends in about that far, rotates all the way around. Of course, it got kind of bumped there. It does rotate at a little bit of an angle. And I think I mentioned before that her wrists rotate all the way around, and her right hand has a vertical hinge to it, so it moves up and down like that. And her left hand has a horizontal hinge on it, so it moves back and forth like that. And then Teela rotates all the way around at the waist. Teela can kick up about that far, so about 90 degrees. Not great, but not horrible. It's okay. It's standard, I guess. Teela can do the splits, no problem. That's about as far as she can do the splits, though. And then she's got a single joint of articulation at the knee. Bends almost, but not quite 90 degrees. I think they could have gotten 90 degrees out of it. They could have pushed a little further, and then that rotates all the way around. And that's it for the articulation. There's nothing below the knee, no boot cut, no ankle articulation, none of that fancy stuff. This is a kid's core figure, and they don't get any articulation below the knee. That's just how that works. So let's go ahead and talk about these weapons, these accessories that she came with. And unfortunately, her sword got a little warped in the package, so I'm going to have to fix that later, hit it with the hairdryer, soften it up a little bit. And I got to say, I was really impressed and continue to be impressed. I still am impressed, but I used to be too. But I like this design for the sword. It's very close to the sword on the Filmation cartoon series, and also has some elements of the 2000X sword incorporated into it. Like you can see the handguard has these two little spikes here, and on the Filmation cartoon, those are kind of more rounded off. So they made it a little pointier, and it's in this gold color, which I think is really nice. The sword is definitely the cooler of the two accessories, I think, because the sword's really neat. Not that the blaster is anything, not that there's anything wrong with it, but I don't think it's anything too special either. And it would be, but see, like even Man-at-Arms, like his blaster, he didn't have a proper holster, but he had this little notch that fit to the tab on his thigh. And I kind of felt like, that at least still gave you some storage for it. This one, there's just no place to put it once She's not holding it anymore, but there she is with the blaster. TMNT N4W is here and says hi. Hi to you too. Good to see you. So yeah, she's a really nice figure, and especially for the price, especially for $10, you can't beat these figures for the price. And I might kind of tease, kind of poke fun at it a little bit for not having any ankle articulation. But honestly, like if you're a little late. It's fine. It's cool. It's cool. You made it. You know, like I've been on for like 20 minutes now. 20 minutes, which I can cover a lot in 20 minutes, but but you can always go back and watch the replay. It's no big deal. But yeah, like so these figures are all like the same height as the Origins figures, and it kind of makes me think why they didn't just kind of just do Origins figures, because it seems like kids would like those just fine. But maybe they just felt like since it was a movie, it had more realistic proportions or whatever. But I think Teela is probably like my favorite of the ones that I've opened up so far. I think it helps that, like I said, the vintage proportions on the female figures are already very similar to this, and we've seen her next to the Filmation Teela, and you can see they scale very well together, so that's nice. What else do I have to say? Good likeness, good facial expression. She looks just like the actress, which makes me happy. I'm gonna buy this one again when they put out the one where her hair's up and she's wearing a tiara, because I'm a sucker for that sort of thing. Future DC Warrior is here and says, got the same Teela and He-Man, great value and sculpt for that price. I think the core He-Man sculpt looks better than the Chronicles. Maybe. Al Davis says, does it come with a McFarlane warning because it has a gun? No, Mattel does not give a shit. Mattel did not warn us that this. I guess they figured you see the gun in the package and you'd know. So plus, like with the McFarlane thing, like they were so like, I guess the license with DC was so strict. They were even kind of forbidden from, you know, like kind of fantasy type weapons. Like I mentioned before, and this was something that really disappointed, the Batman 1966 figures, the old TV show figures. Like Mr. Freeze didn't come with his freezing gun. How do you have Mr. Freeze without a freezing gun? But hey, if you get the G.I. Joe classified retro card Dr. Mindbender, he's got a perfectly serviceable freezing gun. So I'm very proud of that. I was like, I saw that and I'm like, oh hey, I got an idea what to do with that. Penguin didn't even come with an umbrella. They couldn't even have Penguin come with an umbrella. How do you not have the Penguin with an umbrella? What do you think you are, Matt Reeves? Yeah, you made it. TMNT says, at least I made it. Hell yeah. Hey, I'd rather you be late than not be here at all. Like, you know, it's always, hell, I'd rather you just like watch the replay and see it in the comments and be like, hey, nice video, than not at all. I love it when people leave comments in the replay. That's awesome. I love that. But yeah, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. It's good to see you, just period. So don't feel bad that you're late. It's fine. And like I said, you can always go back and watch the replay so you can see what you missed. It'll be fun. So Amiga Cami says, have the Origins Triclops and Man-at-Arms started showing up in your side of the world yet? No. And I don't even know where to look for them, honestly, because it seems like most of these are like store exclusives. So like, I don't know if I don't even know where to find them yet. So usually I get something will show up on Facebook or whatever where somebody says, hey, you can pre-order these on Target or Walmart right now, and still missed out on Trapjaw, because Trapjaw just not sure yet in the UK either, says Al Davis. Yeah, like I have even less idea or they'd show up there. Future DC Warrior says, FYI, Alan, just today, years old, when I found out that literally today that Michael Gough, aka Alfred, in the Burton Schumacher movies, went to acting school with Alan Napier. Yeah, the Adam West, but mind blown. Wow, that is interesting. I didn't know that either. So I'm not really surprised because they're British actors and like they're kind of a tight knit group over there. You know what I mean? So it seems like a lot of them have a lot of connections to each other. And you know, like Michael Gough was just in a ton of stuff. A ton of British productions. He was on Doctor Who. He was in the original Hammer Dracula with Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. He was in the Hammer Phantom of the Opera. He was actually the bad guy in that. The Phantom of the Opera was not the bad guy in that version of Phantom of the Opera. It was Alfred. And then of course he's in a few other Tim Burton movies. Like he's in Sleepy Hollow, which is great because Sleepy Hollow is an homage to the old Hammer horror movies. So, and of course, you want to talk about funny connections to other Batman actors. Batman Forever was not the first time that Michael Gough worked with Val Kilmer because they were both in Top Secret together. So they already knew each other and they had good chemistry from working together before. So that worked out fine. Amiga Cami says, here in Tasmania, Origins, He-Man, and Spikor came out in Kmart, and Triclops and Man-at-Arms are at Target. Well, maybe they'll show up at Target over here in the United States as well. But He-Man and Spikor showed up in Target here in the United States. So who knows what the deal is? I don't even know if like like I said with Kmart, I don't even know if the Target over there is the same as the Target over here, or they're just happen to have the same names. Like I know that like in Australia, Burger King is called Hungry Jack's, but over here, Hungry Jack is like a type of like biscuit, like a refrigerated biscuit, like a savory paste, not a cookie for anybody. In you know I know in the UK, for example, they call cookies biscuits, and I don't know why. I don't know where they got lost in translation. But over here, a biscuit is something completely different. It's like a little savory kind of pastry, like you have more like a croissant, but like a less fancy version of a croissant. Like we don't say croissant. It's like we have the croissandwich. So where they cut open a croissant and they put some egg and some sausage and cheese in it. It's a sandwich. That's at Burger King over here, or you know, in Australia they call it Hungry Jack's. I don't know if they call it Hungry Jack's in Tasmania, but they might. I don't know if they even have it there. But yeah, it's called Burger King over here and Hungry Jack's over there. I have no idea why. I don't know. Maybe they just they don't want to eat at some place named after a king because it's all snooty. I don't blame them. Then Alfred Gough and Al Davis says, then Alfred Gough and Miles Miller wrote Smallville. I don't know if they're related. I'm not sure if they're related either. They might be. Who knows? Future DC Warrior says, oh yeah, Top Secret is classic. TMNT asked, do you edit your videos or pay someone to do it? No and no. I usually this is all like very stream of consciousness, which is why I'm talking about biscuits and cookies right now, and how in the United States a cookie is a cookie's a little sweet, like what we call it. We call it a cookie in the UK. They call it a biscuit, which always still confuses me because like it's just a completely different thing over here. Like whenever I watch Doctor Who or something like that, and they're talking about biscuits, I have to remind themselves, oh, they're talking about cookies. That's what a jammy Dodger is. Okay, I gotcha. Those look good. I think we have those in the United States, but I don't think they're called that. I forget what they're called over here. Bobby Wald says Johnny Depp, Sleepy Hollow had quite a few Siths in it. Palpatine, Count Dooku, and Darth Maul. Yeah. Apparently, the only one missing was Darth Vader, like the first 6 movies. Up to that point, the only one that would have been missing was Darth Vader. They could have got James Earl Jones or, you know, David Prowse to do something. I don't know. Get I guess it would have been this would have been even before Hayden Christensen, but they could have got, you know, got what's his name, the kid. I'm drawing a blank on his name. I've met him before. He's a nice guy, Jake Lloyd. He's got a great sense of humor, and I know he's had a lot of struggles with various things too. But he's a good guy. I like him. He was fun to hang out with. Al Davis asks, "What's a dumpling?" It's like how do I describe it? It's like when you boil dough. I think, or you could steam it. I think Asian dumplings are typically steamed, but it's like instead of baking it, you boil it or steam it. That's what a dumpling is. Now over here, usually dumplings are made in a type of sauce or gravy or whatever you want to call it. Like chicken dumplings, I think, are like the most common kind of dumplings over here. I know that there's some dessert dumplings, like you can do apple dumplings and things like that, but I think like savory dumplings are more at least where I'm in like the southern part of the United States, and chicken dumplings are a pretty popular meal around here, or at least they used to be. Future DC Warrior asked, Alan, did you see Karg has returned in the live action Motu movie? Yeah, I did, and I thought that was pretty cool. Although the character I would most want to see from the 1987 movie is Blade, because I think Blade is super cool. But it's nice to see Karg, and maybe we'll get Blade at some point in the future. Who knows? TMNT says, I'll be back. If I don't make it, then I'm going to say bye now. Well, that's fine. We're probably about done anyway. So you've probably seen most of it at this point. Al Davis says, I thought in America you have gravy and dumplings. Yeah, it's kind of like gravy. It's kind of like gravy, like that you use in this. And then so normally I think Oriental pork dumplings. Yeah, but like I think for those it's like they actually put the meat within the dough. And what we usually do is just kind of like have the dough mixed in with the sauce or whatever, the gravy, whatever you want to call it. And then like some chunks of chicken, and it could be white meat or dark meat. I don't think that I don't think it really matters. I don't think that most people are particular as to whether it's white meat or dark meat in dumplings. So Future DC Warrior says, do you remember Don Knotts in the Apple Dumpling game? Hell yeah, and Tim Conway. What's a Tim Conway? Oh, about 230 pounds. And also another one of my favorite childhood actors, Bill Bixby, Dr. David Banner from The Incredible Hulk. He was in that movie. And I think the mom from Webster was in that movie. I think that she was in that movie too. Unless I'm thinking of a different Disney movie. But yeah, like you had Don Knotts and Tim Conway and Bill Bixby in a movie. I was interested in watching that. And then I watched the sequel, and the sequel I didn't think was quite as good, honestly. I was kind of disappointed in the sequel. The Apple Dumpling Gang rides again. Like, Bill Bixby wasn't even in that one. So I felt kind of ripped off. They should have brought Bill Bixby back, too. Anyway, I guess that's pretty much it for Teela. We've had some ranting time in between when I opened her up. But I really like this figure, and I'm really happy with it. And yes, I will pick up the Origins version when they come out with it, and definitely talk about it. But I don't know why they bothered, because they've already got this one, and this is a good figure to fit in with Origins. So I'm very happy with her. Like, great figure, great job. They did a great job with her. This is definitely my favorite of the Kids Core line that I've opened up so far, and I've been fairly impressed with the Kids Core line. I kind of feel like those, especially for being action figures intended for children, I feel like they're a cut above in terms of quality. The paint applications, especially on the faces, are very good on these, and the articulation is great. If you don't mind it having no articulation below the knees, and I don't really mind that much, honestly. So yeah, I would definitely recommend picking up this figure if you haven't already. Like I know Cammy, Mega Cammy was saying that she'd pick this up and thought that this fit in well with Origins for her. So, and I absolutely agree. Absolutely 100% agree. So that's it for this episode. Next episode, I've got all these filaments that I've got stacked on top of here because I was moving stuff around. Next episode, and I'm not sure when the next episode's going to be. I'm not sure. Hopefully Monday we'll do this episode, but I don't know how late I'm going to want to sleep on Monday. So, and it might be Tuesday. If it's not Monday, hopefully it's Tuesday. And it might not even be Tuesday because I might want to sleep in on Tuesday, but Wednesday at the very latest. Amiga Cami says she's still in her bubble, but I'm looking forward to breaking her out today. Oh yeah, you definitely should. I would say that even if you want to keep these figures in the package, buy an extra one and open them up. They're only like $10, so it's that's an affordable action figure right there. I think they're going to sell a lot of those. It seems like they sold a lot of those at my local Walmart lately anyway. But yeah, next episode, we're going to open up Fisto and Ram Man, and that's going to be pretty awesome. And then I still got the Kids Core Sky Sled on the way. I've still got the Core Mechanic and the Core Beast Man. And we've got all these 2000X figures that I want to be getting on opening up. And I was saving those for closer to the movie, and I think we're close enough to the movie I can start opening those. So I think, Fisto and Ram Man on the next episode, and then I'll probably start on some 2000X. That's my tentative plan right now. TMNT says, bye, love you, dude. Oh, right back at you. And Future DC Warrior says, you rock, Alan. Hopefully Orko is in the movie. Yeah, I've said it before. I continue to say this, even with they still haven't shown any of the figure or character or said he's going to be in it or anything like that. I will be shocked, absolutely shocked if Orko is not in this movie. Even if it's just like he just pops up in the post-credit sequence. Like by this point, they had to have. He didn't sound weird, TMNT. It's fine. it's all good. We got nothing but love here. We're rock and roll. That's how it is. I love all of you guys. This show would not be the same if I didn't have all you guys in the chat to interact with. So we got nothing but love for each other. This world will be nothing without love. And Al Davis agrees with me. Al Davis says, didn't sound weird. Love all around. See? This is the circle of trust. We're all safe here. It's fine. So yeah, what was I talking about? I was talking. So Orko's gonna be in the movie. I can't imagine, even if he wasn't in the movie yet, I can't imagine a world where they didn't see all these people asking, where's Orko? Why haven't we seen Orko? What does Orko look like? When are we going to see Orko? I can't imagine a world where the filmmakers, from what I've seen of these guys, Travis Knight and the crew, don't go, you know what? We should have had Orko in the movie. Let's go ahead and shoot a little something and toss him in there. I can't imagine that wouldn't be a thing. Amiga Cami sends a heart. TMNT sends a heart. Shout out to God. Yes, indeed. Because God is love. That's my opinion. That's as I see it. God is love. All right. So that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. We will talk to you next time. Bye.